The Jets.
The Jets.
The Jets.
The New York Jets.
The Jets Ward.
Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of the Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. If you have been here before, welcome back. You know I love having you guys here in the Jets Ward. You make this place so much fun for me, and I'm glad you guys just keep coming back for more. And if you are new here, welcome. Whether you're a Jets fan, a fan of another NFL team, or just a casual NFL fan, you are always welcome here in the Jets Ward. It is a safe space for you. But guys, I got a fun one. As we know, there are many free agents, solid players that are still out there for the taking, that are available, some high-end players in positions of need for our beloved teams. And honestly, what I'm going to discuss with you guys today are 5 players, 5 of them, that I think could really help turn around the Jets season at this point. As we know, we are 0-4 at this point after an embarrassing loss to the Miami Dolphins, 27-21. I know it seems like a close score, but the game really wasn't close. It was a disaster. But there are 5 players out there that I think the Jets could desperately use at this point. And some solid players, too, to help them. Bring some leadership onto this team. Bring some physicality. Bring some talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and a couple on the offensive side of the ball as well. But first, I'm going to start out on the offensive side of the ball because there is a wide receiver still out there that I think could be very good under the radar wide receiver too for the New York Jets, somebody who I still think has a lot left in the tank, and that is former Bengal and former Titan wide receiver Tyler Boyd. He's 30 years old, and last year he was okay for the Titans. Didn't really do a lot. He was coming off I believe the year before he was coming off an injury, and signed with the Titans, and basically didn't show much. But again, I don't blame a lot of that on him. The quarterback position for the Titans last year was a disaster. Will Levis was awful. Then they had, I don't even know, Mason Rudolph come in. He wasn't much better. And they were just kept going back and forth between the two quarterbacks. Tyler Boyd, I think, could still bring some juice to an offense. And I think he's a smart player, too, that can play in multiple different positions. You can have him in the slot. You can have him on the outside. And just bringing some leadership to this wide receiver room where we have Garrett Wilson, who is a stud number 1. But other than that, we really got nothing. Allen Lazard hasn't been good. Josh Reynolds has been injured, but when he's been on the field, hasn't been shown anything. Arian Smith is still trying to figure it out there as well, and I think he can become something, but right now he hasn't shown much. Tyler Johnson was inactive this past game, but hasn't really shown a lot either in the receiving core. So we have these players and a very weak wide receiver room. I think Tyler Boyd can come in and give it a little bit of juice. Now, he's only going to sign a 1-year deal, and I think that's perfectly fine. The reason for that, he is 30 years old, so he doesn't have too much longer left in the league, I believe. But it would be something different, a smart player who's going to give you 100% on every single play, something we haven't gotten from these guys a lot of the time. And he's a willing blocker as well. And again, he's a possession type of receiver. He's not the fastest, but you put him anywhere. He's a solid route runner, great hands. I think the Jets could give him a shot. I really think he'd help the New York Jets out and help stabilize a little bit this offense and give Justin Fields another weapon that he could trust, that he could side with. So Tyler Boyd is my number 1 person on this list that I think could help the New York Jets. The next player is going on the defensive side, and this is Josie Jewell. He was one of the leading tacklers of the Carolina Panthers defense last year, on a defense that was banged up last year. And he was a very big bright spot to that defense. And solid linebacker. He does not miss a lot of tackles. He's a solid blitzer. He can play on the inside and the outside. And with Quincy Williams down, our linebacking core is very weak. We have Francisco Mauigoa starting in the last game, and he had an awful penalty where he hit Tua Tagovailoa in the head after Tua slid. Josie Jewell's not going to make that mistake. The guy's solid. He's decent in coverage as well. Can do it all. He's 30 years old, and I think we'll just bring some leadership to this defense as well, where we're seriously lacking, and some physicality as well. And we'll tighten up this defense and bring in some freaking toughness, which AG would want on this team. So Josie Jewell is a name that I would look at for the linebacking room too. Now, continuing on, I got another linebacker. Like I said, the linebacking core is very, very weak. We had Quincy Williams get hurt. McCrary Ball is also hurt. And again, the linebacking core is awful. Honestly, Jamie Sherwood has not been great. Francisco Mauigoa is a rookie who hasn't shown much. And we elevated Michael Walker, but he hasn't shown anything either. Isaiah Simmons at least has shown promise recently in the past couple of years. He got picked up by the Packers. They ended up cutting him because the Packers do have some decent linebackers on that roster already. But with the Giants, he was actually a pretty good player. He was a former safety when he got drafted by the Cardinals, and then they moved him to linebacker. They couldn't really figure out where to put him for Arizona, so he didn't live up to that high number first-round talent pick. But he moved to the Giants, and he actually showed some physicality there. Showed a lot of speed, great in coverage, and somebody who not afraid to get his hands dirty and get in there. And he can blitz off the edge, which is something that I think would bring toughness and athleticism to this defense as well. And somebody who I think could help bring some fun to this defense, which we have not been seeing so far at this point. So Isaiah Simmons is somebody who in the offseason I wanted the Jets to go after as well. He's still a free agent. I would bring him in. Continuing on, getting into the next guy. This is a guy I've been preaching as well. And I'm focusing on the defensive side because the defense has been the biggest issue at this point. Christian Wilkins. The defensive line, Harrison Phillips, I was really happy when we traded for him. Hasn't really shown much. Juwan Briggs has a sack this year, but hasn't really shown much either when we traded for him from the Browns. Quinnen Williams now has shown he's been awesome. He's been very good this year, but he hasn't really had any help. Jermaine Johnson's been hurt. Will McDonald is only playing like 56% of the plays, not getting utilized as often, while Michael Clemens is playing 70+ % of snaps. That's what it was last night against the Dolphins. So we are looking at this defense and not having solid pass rushers other than Will McDonald when he's on the field. Quinnen Williams is getting doubled. Harrison Phillips is not getting back there. Juwan Briggs is not getting in the backfield either. Christian Wilkins has shown flashes of greatness in this league. He had a serious injury last year for the Raiders. He says he's fully healthy now. There was some weirdness that went on in the locker room. But if you bring him in, you're bringing in somebody who's hungry, somebody who's going to make plays for you, and somebody who you can play. I believe you can play him on the outside and on the inside. Now, he's predominantly a defensive tackle, but I think he's got the speed for his size to be physical on the edge as well and just bring some toughness to this defense and get after the quarterback. You're not going to utilize Leonard Taylor III. Why not bring in Christian Wilkins, who's shown great signs of greatness in this league? I think he could definitely help out this defensive line a lot. Now, my last player, and this is a guy that Jets fans I think would love, and somebody who I think would be a leader on the field, a Aaron Glenn type of player who I love seeing Aaron Glenn get in people's faces, screaming at them when they make a mistake. This guy will do it on the field, and that might not like a lot of players might not like that. They didn't like it when he was with the Eagles, so they don't want him back. Apparently, they didn't like it with Houston. You guys know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about C.J. Gardner-Johnson, safety. The safety play for the New York Jets has been abysmal. Tony Adams should not be on this team. He has shown missed tackle after missed tackle after missed tackle, blown up coverage, not being able to get back and cover somebody. No help at all. Andre Sisco has not shown anything as well. He's been a little bit better than Tony Adams, but not much anything. If you're not going to play Malachi Moore, then why not bring in a veteran who is guy who was drafted to the Saints when AG was the defensive coordinator? An AG type of player, a guy who's physical, not going to be afraid to hit somebody, not going to be afraid to talk trash, not going to be afraid to get into the players' faces, his own teammates' faces when he sees something that he doesn't like. That is the type of nasty type of player I think that this Jets team needs. You need a leader on the field. There is no leader on that defense whatsoever. Jamie Sherwood's supposed to be it. He's not. Coming in for CJ Mosley as well, coming in, taking that step. He has not taken those steps to be a leader like CJ Mosley was. Quinnen Williams has been doing what he can on the defensive line, but it's not good enough at this point. There are no leaders on that defense. Sauce Gardner was supposed to take a step. He got paid like the best cornerback contract in the league. He's getting paid the most. He looks like an average cornerback, getting beat by a player who last year was making raps, and Darren Waller got beat by him, giving up 2 touchdowns to Darren Waller. This defense needs some help. We need some physicality. We need some anger and toughness on this defense. CJ Gardner-Johnson did not play bad in Houston. I don't care what they say. I don't think he played bad. I think he fits this defense. He's an Aaron Glenn type of player, and I'm shocked that the Jets haven't brought him in, or any team by that chance. Shocked that he has not got signed yet. I think he'd be perfect for this team. Not afraid to be a leader, not afraid to be vocal. A lot of coaches and teams might not like how abrasive he can be, but I think that's exactly what this Jets defensive locker room needs right now. Somebody who's going to get in your face and scream at you if you're not doing what you're supposed to. Sort of like a type of player like Jalen Mills was for us last year, who's still a free agent, by the way, as well, who I would love to bring back. Somebody who was on a 1-year deal, didn't even start at the beginning of the year, but somebody who busted his ass and earned his way. And when everybody else was giving up on the defense, he played every single snap, whether he was hurt or not, gave everything he had. That's CJ Gardner-Johnson. He's only 27 years old, still young, still has a lot left to tank in this league, and somebody who I think can play in the box, can play coverage, can tackle, can be physical. You play him in the linebacker position if you need him to, and bring Malachi Warren with Andre Cisco as this other safety. Just something. You could utilize him wherever you need. But those are all the players that I think the Jets should go after. Now, are they going to sign all 5? No. I'd be happy if they signed CJ Gardner-Johnson. He's the one I think you should go after the most. And then Christian Wilkins. Bring some talent to this team. The Jets have no wide receiver too. It's obvious. The Jets have no safety help. Linebacking help is a disaster at this point too. Bring some of these players in. You have the cap space for it. You have the money to do it. CJ Gardner-Johnson would be a perfect fit to this Jets defense and an Aaron Glenn type of guy. I think that's the leadership we need on this team. But let me know what you guys think. Are there any other players you think the Jets should bring in from free agency? Maybe down the road, do a video for trades, top 5 videos for trades that the Jets should make for players that could help this team. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. And again, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for any notifications and updates of when I post videos. It really helps me a lot. And again, guys, thank you so much for joining me in the Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
The Jets Ward.